Gutfoxx here. So we got Mutt episode 187 on today's day. A funny number I was just informed of means muck duck. We got a special guest though. We have TDPresents, the legendary, the OG, one of the pioneers of the Mutt scene. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing? That's a lot of compliments that I don't know if I deserve, but I appreciate it.
That's staying humble. Staying humble. Key to your success, right?
Yeah, that it'll help for sure.
It'll help. All right. So I'm gonna in the background for the video audience, we'll just play a game between your favorite team, the Patriots, and mine, the Steelers. We'll see who comes out on top. For the audio only, you will not be seeing that, so I've just wasted your time a little bit. TD, you've been through a lot in the whole YouTube sphere, which I want to talk about, but it is the Muttmen podcast, so we're going to talk about Mutt and Madden first. I kind of want to get a breakdown. Anything you want to say today or talk about as I'm laying out the agenda?
I'm really down for anything. So like whatever you want to talk about, I'm cool with.
All right. So the big Mutt news, first of all. I do want to talk about, when he spent series and everything. I put out that tweet saying I got you on. Well, you guys want to hear about anything? They're like, why does he do more No Money Spent episodes? Because, people seem to really enjoy the content. How do you feel Mutt's been this year for the No Money Spent person?
For No Money Spent this year with the, and I know it's like really mixed reviews with like competitive pass. As far as like getting coins, this has been the best for me. Because I'm not someone that puts in a ton of hours. I'll do like maybe 1 hour a day, hour and a half a day. And I've always tried to do that in my No Money Spent series because I remember, back in the day when I was like working and doing stuff like that, I couldn't sit on Madden 6-7 hours a day. So with my No Money Spent series, I've always tried to keep it more casual because I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. So in years past, I would maybe have like 100, 200,000 coins. This year, I've found myself having 800,000 coins, 1 million coins, because of the field pass and competitive pass. I never did Mutt Champions in years past because 25 games of Madden in one weekend was just not intriguing to me. This year, Mutt Champions, I'll get to 10 wins in the 14 days just to get like that extra competitive points. So as far as like coins and being able to buy players, it's been decent. Matchmaking system has been meh. It's always meh for No Money Spent. I feel like we play a lot of like, money teams, but
yeah, I'm looking at your roster right now. I pulled it up for those who can see it, but you got Plunkett at quarterback, Marquise Brown, Sutton.
Oh, I got a new one. I just got a new one where I picked up like 12 most feared players.
Did you really?
Yeah. I spent like 1 million coins.
At the game? Oh, you did. Okay. Never mind. Here's the updated roster after most feared. So you do this in 1 hour a day.
So I showed a few episodes ago where I had like, I don't know the exact time I've spent playing the game, but it came out to like 90 minutes a day. And that's like obviously counting, the time I spent just sitting on franchise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I try and keep my series very casual. And I have noticed this year with competitive pass, field pass, that I have been able to get a lot more coins than usual. I don't think we get like as many, back in the day, solos seemed a bit more rewarding because we would get like fantasy packs. But I feel as far as like coins and stuff, we get more.
But you have to play online.
So I'm trying something right now because I did see people saying, well, I can't win Mutt Champion games. So these last 2 weeks, I'm doing just strictly solo battles and just like sets, just those 2 sets that you get like 20 competitive pass points for.
Yeah.
And just like the stats. And I'm seeing if I can get the free strong safety and how many hours it's taking me per day without doing any Mutt Champion games.
Wow. That's actually incredible. Because the comp pass has probably been one of the flashpoints of the community this year. Like almost universally hated. And if you said anything good about it, because, it has been broken for a lot of people, still is broken on dailies for people like Fredzilla, who's still angry, which is understandable. Like, if you said something positive about the comp pass and, like, how it's done, you got shit on relentlessly. And I feel like it's interesting to see it from somebody that, like, just does solo battles and stuff and getting to that kind of level and having a team for somebody that kind of puts in, like, generally what you consider, like, a casual effort. it's kind of cool to see because like I'm the exact like opposite. I put in like at least like 4 to 5 hours a day at least on stream, plus like off stream managing binder and everything. So yeah, to see you feel like it's a solid year and you have more coins than ever, having solid upgrades for playing solo battles, that's, you know, not too terrible. Like do you think like Mutt's getting better?
Overall, well, no, I can't say it's getting better simply because there has been so many issues. Like, for example, I couldn't get Malik because I couldn't get past 20 competitive points. I had 13 days of no tracking. So that was super disappointing.
Yeah.
And because of that, I like for the rest of the year, I'm not doing, you know, I know like Pack Strike's been a big thing. I just feel personally, and I guess for, you know, because I feel bad for a lot of people in the community. Because like I said, I try to relate to the casual players because I was a casual player for a long time.
Yeah.
Even when I was first doing YouTube, you know, I didn't really do pack openings or anything like that because I couldn't afford it. So for the rest of the year, I am just simply because of how things have been. I'm not opening another pack, so EA is not seeing a penny out of me. And no more content videos. I'm not hyping up any of the All Madden releases or anything like that. I'm just going to do strictly no money spent in franchise. And then I think the next step for me is maybe creating a community Twitter where I try and help people find like 32-person franchise leagues.
I mean, here's the thing: what I've heard about 32-man franchise leagues is you never have trouble finding people for those franchise leagues. The trouble you have is keeping them and having them doing their you know, whatever, playing their games and stuff. A lot of chat spamming W guys got dignity, respect WTD. Do you think that little people who don't play online listen to the Man Foxy? Yeah, I mean, I've often tried to relate, but it is hard because I do play mostly online gameplay. But it is refreshing to hear you and like what you kind of do with your content and stuff. So, you know, like when I said, why aren't we getting more no money spent videos if that's your content? I talked about the person complaining under Twitter. Why aren't you flooding our sub boxes with that kind of stuff?
Yeah, no, I definitely need to do a better job. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of on me. Obviously, I mean, you know, I've always had just a terrible immune system. So when I got COVID again, like a month and a half ago, that like wiped me out for a good 3 weeks. And then obviously a couple weeks ago with the competitive pass, not tracking and all that, that kind of couldn't really do anything, no money spent wise. So yeah, no, I completely agree. I need to do a better job and just hopefully have a solid, you know, rest of the year as far as like posting no money spent, hopefully really no issues with competitive pass. And yeah, I would say minimum like 3-4 no money spent videos a week. I definitely need to get on that.
Dude, the chat is literally chanting your name right now. What the fuck, dude? You're gonna turn this shit against me, man.
I have a question for you. Why don't
Okay.
you try like something with franchise? Like I have like 16 people leagues where we do playoff only stuff, where we'll do the fantasy draft with 16 people or 14 people. Sorry, we'll sim the regular season. Everyone that drafted makes the playoffs, and it's kind of like Mutt draft, so to say, except it's in franchise. And it's kind of a little bit nerve wracking because if you spend an hour and a half drafting your fantasy team and you really like, or your fantasy draft team and you really like it, if you lose your wild card game, like you're done, you know? So that's like something I'm going to start doing every weekend. I think that video is probably going to be like an hour long. So would you ever be open to doing something like that? Like you could stream it, you could put it on Gutfoxx too. Like,
I mean, like, yeah, I'd join a league, sure. That sounds fun. Here's the thing: is like, it's funny you say that, as I literally just started my first franchise video. Just started recording it yesterday because I wanted to do a Pittsburgh Steelers franchise all year, and I haven't because of the draft reset bug that's been killing people. So I've kind of wanted to do that. So I started to do it. I made like, you know, the trade whatnot, or the trades and stuff, and I got the video. It's gonna come out on Gutfoxx for franchise. But no, I'd definitely be down for that. And like, yeah, stream a draft and stuff. I'd be absolutely 100% down to do content like that and put it up on YouTube.
yeah. So like you were saying with the draft bug, that's why right now my franchise content is going to be focused on just kind of one season. It's something I did last year and actually performed pretty well simply because when you do a title around the fantasy draft online, people want to see who you drafted. They want to see who other people drafted. And then as you continue the series, it can be hard to come up with titles. You know, you can't just, you know, not everyone's like MMG. You can do week 15 and get 100,000 views plus on it. You got to try and do like, oh, I drafted this player, I traded for this player, should I accept this trade? Whereas when you just have one video, and you can go back on my channel and look like last November, December, you can even look at my channel trailer. I would do like, you know, my number one pick was this player. People would click on to see who I drafted. And then I have those 2, 3, 4 playoff games in that video. And that's just one video. So it's a lot of work for one video, but when you have like an average watch time on those of like 30, 35 minutes, it does pay off as well. And that's why I think those videos got recommended more, and all of those got, you know, double of what No Money Spent gets.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's just more franchise players out there too, to be fair now. There's always been more franchise players than Mutt players, so it appeals to more people. Plus, people just like watching like the NFL sometimes in their team. So, yeah, I think it's a great one. Appreciate the Nick Thick and Gummy for subbing. Talk about draft and stuff. What is, like, dude, EA said they're going to update it. Why do you think they haven't updated draft? Because it just doesn't make them money? Or, like, why isn't
yeah,
like,
no,
Mutt draft?
that's 100% like the reason. That's why, like, the last straw for me was, you know, they dragged their feet. They weren't even, the one thing that really triggers me is just the no communication on stuff a lot of times. So, for example, like I said, a couple weeks ago, couldn't get Malik. Stuff's not tracking. I was tweeting at him every day. You probably saw a few of them. And then something happens with Team Diamond sets that helps the community. And I mean, they're fixing it within like 20 minutes, and it's like 10 o'clock at night when that gets, you know, out to the public.
It's terrible.
And what I said to them was, with the competitive pass issues, like, just, if it's not working, just own up to it and just give everybody the rewards. Now, some people said, well, if I get the rewards, I have no reason to play. Well, that's on EA. If they updated, you know, Mutt Draft, like you were just talking about, if they updated Mutt Draft, people would say, okay, well, I got all the competitive pass rewards. Let me go play Mutt Draft. Or, you know, I got all my competitive pass rewards. Let me go play Superstar KO. That's what was so great about Madden 20. People love Superstar KO. They could come home from school, come home from work, get on, play for an hour, hour and a half, have fun. It was more arcade-like, but they could use, you know, players they can't get on their Mutt team. That's what was great about Mutt Draft back in the day. They updated it every day with content. I remember going on Mutt Draft and drafting over and over until I got like Megatron because I couldn't afford his card in Mutt. And that's how I played with him. That's how I'd actually do my gameplay videos with new cards, was through Mutt Draft. So I think, Mutt Draft not getting updated, it's just, it doesn't make them money. And it's sad to see that they really don't have many, like, they don't really do stuff for the casual players. Superstar KO, I mean, that was so good. And they obviously didn't see any reward from it, that they really do a bad job updating it.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think the person that did Superstar KO actually left, so they got nobody there. But also, like, this is a classic EA situation, right? EA gets hyped about releasing new things and putting it out there, and then they never follow up and like barely iterate on it at all unless they have to, because, you know, launching new products and, like, you know, that's going to be able to be put on your resume, but in like the kind of like corporate world, the dev world, like, maintenance is the least sexy thing and nobody wants to do it, right? Nobody gives a crap all about maintaining something. They, like, if they want to advance their career, they want to launch something in order to, like, you know, say to the boss, look what I did, right? So yeah, it's like, I wish EA could, like, their corporate culture was better and that they were able to, like, assign people and those people actually made it into a big deal to update those things. Like, overall, just frustrating for players that do enjoy these modes, just to get, like, just forgotten about and then never happen again. Like, how do we, like, as a community, like, tell them, hey, that's not so cool. Could you please do better?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is obviously they still feel, you know, they're making enough money off Mutt where that's where their focus is. I don't know, if I was a business, sometimes, like, you do things to just get people in the door. And then when people are in the door, they'll buy stuff they didn't plan on buying. So if I was EA, I would look at it as, okay, if all these people are coming on and playing Superstar KO, if all these people are coming on and playing Mutt Draft, and then if they get these really good players in Mutt Draft and they want to use them more, maybe they'll go on the Mutt and buy packs. they obviously don't look at it that way, which is surprising to me. I would have to think that the amount of people playing is down from, let's say, a year like Madden 20. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Yeah. Yeah, well, like they'll never release numbers, of course. Their revenue keeps going up. We know that. They keep bragging about that. But like the thing also with like where they messed up this year in Mutt Draft, or maybe why they're not seeing as many people play it, it's because like don't you have to be like level 5 in order to even like get Mutt Draft activated for your account? So like the whole point of Mutt Draft is that it's free and it brings new people into the game mode of Mutt. You'd think that the devs would recognize that, but because they lock it behind a level gate, new players can't play it. They literally are unable to play Mutt Draft until they like grind out a bunch of solos and like buy packs and stuff like that or whatever to get experience level 5. So like it feels like the people that run EA have no clue why or how or like what to do.
right, yeah, no, like you said, they put the stuff behind like level caps. I remember a couple years ago, I had an IRL friend, and we used to play each other in Mutt Draft. It didn't make sense for us to play Mutt because he didn't really play Mutt, so we could just hop on, each draft the team, play each other. Hey, let's draft again, He could use some cards that he would never be able to like obtain in Mutt, and it was just fun. And I feel like that's not really a thing. I when I'm not making videos, excuse me, I never play Madden ever. Like the only time I'm on Madden is when I'm grinding for no money spent and when I'm recording videos. I never just hop on Madden. I'm like, oh, let me just play Mutt Champions, or let me just, I never do that.
It is very interesting to hear back-to-back weeks. So I had an MMG on last week, and he said almost the exact same thing. He doesn't give a shit about Madden. He puts out videos that he thinks his audience would enjoy, and that's all he cares about. Otherwise, he doesn't care. And then like you say, yeah, I don't play Madden anymore because you just don't enjoy a lot of what their decisions, whatever, with the game. So it's interesting that like large Madden content creators, cause this community suffered from a lot of burnout, right? I've said over the years, when I started streaming in Madden 16, there was like 200 people in front of me in the directory that had larger audiences, and every single one of them has quit playing Madden. If you look back from then to now, at least, or they're putting out consistent content on Madden. And then like we've seen that with like YouTube, a lot of creator burnout over the years with Madden. So like the fact that like you guys, you've been doing it for years, you playing Madden console longer than MMG, although he was on mobile around when you'd start. When did you start?
My first video was actually 2013.
Wow. Okay, so you've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
Longer than both of us. But like what I'm saying is like you've been able to maintain that because you kind of find that like balance. So basically, okay, what you're telling me here is you do your job 1 hour a day and then put out a video with the rest of your time, and then you're just free. What do you currently like? What's your life like right now? What do you do with your time?
I mean, I'm just kind of like, my routine lately is I just kind of like, I feel like I'm very basic. I just like wake up. I pretty much eat the same breakfast every day. Usually just do like cream of wheat with blueberries. Hop on Madden.
How old are you?
I know. It's gonna sound bad. I maybe spend lately. I
drink my Ensure so that way I can have healthy bowels.
Oh god, here we go.
I do my back exercises because it's been a little sore lately.
No, I mean I'm gonna get into that, but yeah, I mean I've just kind of I'll spend, let's see, maybe an hour 30 recording, so then maybe it's another hour and a half editing. I don't do like any crazy edits, so it's maybe like 3-4 hours right there. I finally got a thumbnail person because I despise making thumbnails. I finally got someone for that. Makes my life a little easier. And then paying somebody, he does an amazing job. And then after that, I've just been kind of focusing on just my health, and that's.
And then you got your stories, right? You got to catch up on your General Hospital or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like where I'm at.
Don't forget about the early bird special at your local restaurant. Sorry, I'm just being so rude right now.
I mean, I was kind of laughing the other day. So obviously it's getting cold where I'm at, and it's the first time I've had a cold winter in years.
Okay.
So I ordered some new clothes, like a bunch of kind of like crew necks. You'll actually probably see them in my videos. I ordered this crew neck off of Amazon. It's Amazon Essentials. It was $10, and it was perfect, and it fit perfect. So I got like 5 different colors. There's no branding on it. Whenever I do sponsors, they're always complaining, "Oh, we can't have any brands in the background. We can't have any resemblance of any other logos." So I got these plain like Amazon like sweatshirts for like $10 each. And I was like super excited about it.
What a deal!
But no, I mean I do like other stuff. I do like, stocks, and I've done a little bit of real estate stuff like that. But yeah, no, I live a pretty like basic life for the most part.
Hell yeah! So you're in the north. We're not gonna dox the TD and ask square at all because that's rude. But it's kind of cool. You've moved a lot over the last few years, haven't you?
Yeah, I got a house that I did actually really really like, and then the market in Florida just absolutely exploded, and yeah, I actually had someone come to my door and present me a cash offer that I couldn't turn down. So I accepted that, and then after that, I didn't want to buy a house because the market there was so crazy. So now I'm just kind of like chilling until the market goes down, and then I'll just buy something again.
Yeah, with interest rates so high, a lot of people are expecting it because it's going to be tough to buy those prices with interest rates so high since the monthly is going to be so much. But we don't have to talk about boomer investment opportunities. We could go back. We could go back to Mutt stuff, but that's pretty cool. They just came to your door, like, yeah, I'll take that. I figured it was like some situation, maybe like the law was closing in too many places. Like we're gonna hear about like dead hitchhikers across the country, and then, like you can follow your route from Florida north, and we'll be like, whoa, dots connected, and that's why TD's always on the move.
Oh God, no, yeah, no, I'm just yeah, I just kind of feel like I sold at a good time, and then I'll just wait to buy.
Yeah. Mutt is the homeowners association of gaming. That doesn't even make sense, but hell yeah. Well, all right. Let's talk more about Mutt. There was some other topic I want to talk about. I can't remember. I wonder if it was on my tweet about you. But what do you feel about like the all Madden promo itself? Kind of like insane cards. Like they're crazy. The ones coming out tomorrow. By the time you guys, I don't know, maybe a lot of people will be listening to this tomorrow, so they're already out. But like, what is your feeling about zero AP abilities?
Yeah, so I'm not the biggest fan of abilities. I remember a few years ago, I mean, it was just out of control where people what year was it? Was it like Madden 18 or something where there'd be like all these abilities on defense, everyone would have I forget the specific names of them, but I just remember there'd be so many abilities. And it was horrible for nobody's sweat because, you really couldn't afford all those abilities. And then you would play super teams that had a ton of abilities. I'm not like the biggest fan of it. I think the system they've had the last couple of years has been decent. I thought this year with Acrobat, I believe it's 5 AP. I think having, pretty much you can only
Yeah.
have one on your defense. And even then, is it even worth 5 AP? Seeing now that it seems like there's going to be more and more abilities moving forward, I'm not a fan of it. I'll be honest, like I said, I'm taking like such a step back from Mutt content wise and all like kind of like the paid content that I didn't even really look at all Madden cards coming out. All I saw was there's no talk about, if you do solos, you'll get a pack with a random one. I like that in the first season. I ended up getting Mike Allstott, who actually was amazing, but I thought that was cool. I don't even ask for a fantasy pack. It looks like we're getting a free Goose. I think he's like a 90 or 91 overall defensive tackle.
90 overall. It looks kind of insane with the free goal line stuff. Yeah.
Free goal line stuff. Okay. I mean, I don't mind the discounts here and there on top tier cards. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan if we're going to start seeing like 8, 9, 10 abilities on defense. I'm not a fan of that. And that's why I'll definitely be doing more franchise stuff. And to really tell you like how much I want to take a step back from Mutt and not promote their content and spend money on the game is with me doing this, I'm not going to have a coin deal moving forward. And like, we don't need to get into the stats of that, but I'm sure, you're aware of how much I make from a coin deal.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you could still have it and put it on franchise videos.
they wanted to really decrease the amount. And at that point, I didn't feel it was worth it.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm just gonna step away from it completely.
okay, yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
So, because yeah, in Madden 18, I tried doing a pack strike, and I said I wanted to do it for all of November and December, and just completely screw up EA's like quarter 4 reports. But
Uh huh.
yeah, no one wanted to do it. So I feel like now
Well,
we're
eight
just
wasn't 18. The 18 was the year of Little Jimmy, and that went for a couple weeks until EA released Randy Moss. Then people broke in 18 pretty quickly. I remember on Little Jimmy,
yeah.
but so
I
you
wasn't
you
sure. I
kept it
thought
going through
maybe that
December.
was the year before, and then the year after, I was like, okay. They came to us with some changes. I know Mutt Guru, he said like they sat down behind closed doors. We're like, okay, we got to figure this out. And it seems
Yeah,
like, we hit them with like a pack strike for like a week or two, maybe 3 weeks, and they make some changes. And then 6 months later, they get comfortable, and you know it's right back to square one. So I'm like, okay, if we're really gonna do this, we got to do like 60 days, and we got to do it like during quarter 4, during holiday season.
mm.
I'm not throwing Zerk under the bus, but I remember Zerk quoted it and was like, "We're gonna do this during Most Feared and Harvest promo. No thanks." You know.
Oh,
Um,
did he really?
yeah, yeah. I'm not, like I said, I'm not throwing him under the bus. I get it. He is like, he obviously
Fuck that guy.
no. I know for him, like with his content, that would be very difficult. But yeah, I just think if we actually did want to see like major changes, it would have to be like, hey, we're not participating in Most Feared. We're not participating in Harvest. We're not doing Black Friday. We're not doing uh, the winter promo. And maybe then we would actually see like some solidified changes, and not just for a month or two. Like I'm talking like for a year or so, you know?
Mm. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and the thing is, like, okay, talk about Pack Strike and everything. Do you think EA responded at all to Pack Strike, or did they just ignore it and it didn't work?
Uh, I th- they maybe responded a little bit. And again, that's probably just because they started, seeing maybe a little bit of a dip in their pockets. But I don't think they really did that much. There's still people having issues with like daily tracking. So how can I give money to a game that can't even figure out daily tracking?
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it. But again, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I fully get that there is people like yourself that your content is a lot like Mutt. So I'm not even asking someone like you to just stop playing Mutt in general. I completely get
Mm-hmm.
that. I just think, in order to actually like make some changes, it would have to be like a very prolonged thing where like all the content creators would have to come together, and maybe they even come together. Content creators say, you know what? Since we're not spending money on packs, we'll do like a content creator franchise and stuff like that to come up with content ideas. But again, I get that's very difficult.
Yeah, we RBT like tried to get a content creator franchise going. I think like 3 or 4 years ago, and it lasted 2 weeks before I think he said he was overwhelmed and left the country, and we never got advanced week past week 2, so that died. And like we've had creator tournaments before that always end in drama too. Creators, got egos and everything, and so I've been a part of a creator tournament that also didn't get past round 2. Because people got angry at each other and we're super pissed, like, because I think some creators didn't actually put some of the videos up on YouTube that they lost, and that was creating drama. So yeah, I'd love to say that would be great, but that would be more disastrous than a pack strike. Would be a creator franchise. But no. Getting back to pack strike though, like I think, like, and I've said this a few times, I think the mistake maybe with pack strike this year was maybe we didn't demand enough, right? Like there wasn't in the demands to fix anything specifically, but like some of the problems came out after the pack strike started. Some were before. Obviously, the Super Bowl rewards got killed like a week after pack strike started, or a few days maybe even after. And then like I think like the pack strike demands. I created a list of things if we do another pack strike down the road of the things I'd want. I would want like limited odds, shown. There's another big one that I wanted to that I can't remember, but like I think maybe if we would QA, maybe that was the issue. I wanted like QA budget doubled. That would have been one of my next time pack strike ideas. So because it was hard, like seeing Zerk's list and everything, looking at it, it's like it's good and they delivered on some of the things. I think the reroll odds didn't really change much. I think it's a big L on that, but like overall, like, solo reward came out with like 100 or 200,000 coins in the next solo reward, and those were liquid coins, won't even be in these. So like, I don't know. I think maybe the demands next time could be higher, right? So yeah, it is what it is, and it's kind of cool that you're kind of like standing up still, even though for many people it's over. You're still on your, your stand about no money spent only, going more over to franchise and stuff. And the franchise numbers are doing well on YouTube from what I've seen. But yeah. So shout out to you for that, TD, about still sticking with your guns.
Yeah, absolutely. I just feel like I completely get where there's a lot of frustrated people coming from. And I get there's people that, they work throughout the week, go to school throughout the week. They just want to come home and play a football game, And our only choice really is Madden. So it's super frustrating to see Madden just kind of give the middle finger to a lot of those guys. Because like I said before, I was that guy 7-8 years ago,
Yeah.
So yeah, this is kind of what I'm going for. And I've even had people say like, hey, after watching your No Money Spent series, I stopped spending money. I've actually been enjoying the game more. I felt really, it felt good to win a Super Bowl with like an 87 overall team. I beat a 91 overall team in the Super Bowl or something along that lines. I saw that comment, thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it absolutely feels more rewarding, I feel like, if you actually build it up versus just like getting all the cards day one by spending packs. Like, my content's built around reviewing, but I feel like that's true. That's kind of like building a franchise up, right? Is like your no money spent stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. So a couple of years ago when I did like my first 32-person franchise, it was awesome. I'm actually still in the group chat with a lot of the people, and like I said, if you want to be added to it, I'll gladly add you to it. I'll let you know. You'll probably be the best person in the league. We're super casual. A lot of us just go like straight coach suggestions. Like I said, I just recorded one and had one game where it was like 35-30, and the next game was like it was 0-0 with 2 minutes left, and it was such like a defensive battle. So it feels a lot more like scheme over team. Doing the fantasy draft is awesome. And then going back to Pack Strike, like the first thing on my demands would be like, can we at least get some communication about it? Like, can you put out a tweet, be like, hey, we hear you loud and clear. We know we're screwing up, and we're gonna fix this. No, they didn't really respond to it. Maybe they were trying to take our actions will speak louder than words, but I really haven't seen that. We've seen a few moderate changes, but still a bunch of stuff broken. And I mean, wasn't there a legend that just came out like last weekend? He was never under 1 million coins. Was it like Tillman or something?
Yeah,
is
Tillman
that
was
true?
2 million coins. I think. Tillman. I think the lowest I saw him was like 1.5, and then he basically got up to 2 million and never stopped got below 2 billion.
Do you think that card is worth 1.5 million?
No, absolutely not.
All that is they know they have they have people that just want that card, even if it's not worth it. They just want that card because of the rarity and because of the price, and they'll spend $200, $300, $400 to try and get a Charles Tillman cornerback. They've started releasing content as well, and I've noticed if they start releasing content, like the man meta at the beginning of the year was insane, and they're releasing man cornerbacks that if you watch the guy in real life, he's not a man-to-man cornerback. But in Mutt, they're releasing him with good man coverage because they know people will spend money to try and get this player. So, I mean, that's just it's super unfortunate that they are taking advantage of a group of people that, feel that way.
It's like the classic Rondé Barber, like, lived his entire life in like a cover 2 scheme, comes out as a man-to-man corner. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And with there's something else you said that was really cool. Oh yeah, me and Zemo are on the same thought. I'll win the CFM league with a pump fake glitch. I'll just
oh jeez.
I'll break out RPO glitches. Like, nobody beats the Fox. How dare you?
Yeah, no, we've actually only had one issue, and that was like this person. He was running. It was a couple of years ago. He was running delay fade, and that was like one of our top rules. Like, just don't run delay fade if you run it, because there was some delay fades that were like already in the play if you picked it. Like that was fine, and then like we have like play cooldowns and stuff. But yeah, this person was running delay fades like, 4 or 5 times a quarter, and then started chewing clock when they had the lead. So that person actually got kicked. But that's the only time we've actually had an issue, and that was just because after the game when we told him, he did it again, and then he said it was a Mickey Mouse league. So I was like, all right, this dude's getting kicked. But yeah, it's
Yes.
fun. And a couple years ago when I did that first 32-person league, I actually said I would do a custom trophy for whoever won the league, and I won the league, so I already put in the order for the custom trophy. So I actually still have the trophy hanging around.
So I watched your last No Money Spent episode. You're running like 3-4 with contains on the field.
Is that bad?
Only rushing 3 dudes.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Fox. It's funny. I can send you a picture of this. Back in like 2012, when I was still in high school, I would always be like top 100 for like the leaderboards, you know, and then monthly and weekly would be even higher. And that was because I would just run broken plays. Now I'm like, I don't know shit about the game. I just be going, okay, I know his D-line sucks, so I'm going to like run the ball. You know, Mutt's a little bit different. Mutt, I actually, I do have to sweat a little bit. But when it comes to like CFM, yeah, I mean, it's just, we just kind of look at opponent's weakness and just kind of go from there. But yeah, if you watch my videos, you'll probably look at that and be like, what the fuck's this guy doing?
Well, you want to know? Do you want a quick tip here or not?
Go for it. I'm all for it.
Okay, if you're rushing 3, make sure to have your user on a blitz. You get sheds better that way. Also, don't have contains on the field. So if your D line starts in contains, just slant them outwards. Contains won't really shit. Like you're running contains in your DNs. I see the quarterback's able to easily get outside the pocket. So your contains basically are dead. So slant out and then blitz your user, and then they get better animations.
You want to know what's insane is I don't know how. I feel like I've gotten a bit lucky with like the matchmaking system, but my No Money Spent team, I actually won, I think, 25 games in a row, which is crazy because in years past I'd maybe get like 3-4 in a row. I don't know how I did it. Really? It was like the crazy. I'm actually on a streak of 3 Super Bowls in a row, and I start another playoff run tomorrow where I just had an undefeated regular season.
So wait, why are you concerned about matchmaking if you're winning every single one of your games?
Well, no, I've been playing a lot of other.
You hated the matchmaking system earlier.
I've been playing a lot of other No Money Spent people lately. I don't know why.
Huh.
Which is weird. Normally it's the opposite. So I don't know if something changed recently. But yeah, I can. What I do is a lot of people run man blitz, and you'll see it in my videos. I put run off elite on my wide receivers, and it's so glitchy. I'll be playing people that have like a couple weeks ago, this guy was so mad. He had like Charles Woodson and all these top tier cards, and I have like Jerry Jeudy and guys like that with run off elite, and I'm just running stretch to Mike Allstott, and his Charles Woodson and those guys are 30 yards down the field, not even turned around, and there's nobody on the outside, and I'm just running for like 20, 30 yards with Mike Allstott untouched.
Really?
So run off elite against man coverage is so cheesy, and when I'm on No Money Spent, I take pride in it. I just run the ball a bunch. Now I have Eric Dickerson. I got Allstott. Like the other day, I was running outside with Dickerson, and I actually scored a 99-yard touchdown with Allstott in the Super Bowl against this guy. And yeah, run off elite is super glitchy for me.
Okay. Wow. That's something I did not know.
Yeah. It hasn't been as good recently, but yeah, there's like a 2-week stretch where run off elite is just insane. And then yeah, I have like Harold Carmichael and Dickerson, and those two are just stupid.
Well, are you going against people with Revis?
Yeah, he's horrible.
Revis has the ability that he can't get. He has the counter ability to run off elite built into it for free.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh, I don't remember. Yeah, I have. I think I want to make a YouTube short about it. Because I had a week where I was like 18-7 in Mutt Champions, which I know isn't like insane, but for No Money Spent, I thought that was solid. And yeah, it's just run off elite. These dudes' cornerbacks are turning around. They're 30, 40 yards down the field. And I have Mike Allstott who's just going in untouched, for like 30, 40 yards. I've had games where I average like 20 yards a carry, and then the person messaged me. He was like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, She-Love Cadillac says it's really strong in trip sets too. So yeah, looks like run off. Is anybody get what's the cheapest run off elite wide receivers? Let me take a look.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I just put it on like I think like Jerry Jeudy and like Drake London, and I know I had it on Cortland Sutton for a bit, and I was going single back. There's 3 receivers on the field. It's like the little stretch play where the outside receiver runs a slant on the far side of the field. And
Oh man.
yeah, if my opponent is playing straight up, I don't use it. But if my opponent's just running man blitz over and over and over, then yeah, I'm just going to do that over and over to you back. And then your super team doesn't look so super.
That's a good counter, dude. Rice gets it for 0. Oh man, Marvin gets it for free too. Wait, I did the 1. Let's see who gets it for 0 instead of their other discounted abilities. Yeah, Marvin and Jerry are the ones that get it for 0. Marvin Jones, new team of the week 1. That's okay. All right, well, thank you for helping out the runners of the community, TD.
Yeah, I hope
that sucks.
I have a bunch of clips. I think hopefully I still have them. Yeah, I think
honorary lineman.
Yeah.
Honorary lineman says, dude, I watched a clip of your last gameplay and it fucking shocked me. I don't know if you saw my face on the screen when the run off a leap put his guys like in the fucking end zone.
Yeah. I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna drop a short on it today or tomorrow, just to kind of put that out there, like how I've been just kind of destroying man coverage. Like I said 2 weeks ago when the man meta was a bit more, it was like insane. It was yeah. I feel kind of bad doing it, but like I said, if my opponent's man blitz over and over, then yeah, I have no problem doing it.
Yeah. Hey, so what are your feelings on? Oh, I'm dropping frames now. This sucks. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, you can hear me, but I'm really choppy for the online experience. But anyways, what are your feelings on Lost and Unbound? Because you two kind of blew up together, right?
Right.
And
yeah,
he stopped. He got burnout, but you're still chugging along, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's kind of dang, you put me like right in the spot there, because I've never really talked about it before. But that's fine. I've no problem talking about it. I mean, yeah, and that would be my advice for anyone starting YouTube. It's definitely tougher now because it feels like everything's been done. But I kind of started doing things because the first 2 years I didn't make a penny. I was still like working, I was unloading trucks at Kohl's and working at Best Buy and not making any money off YouTube. And I was like, okay, what can I do that's different? And I started doing IRL pack and plays. And again, IRL pack and play in 2013, like that was unheard of,
Yeah.
I started Guess Who. I actually did the first one with Mike Mack. Shout out Mike Mack.
Another person that, dude, are you the touch of death? Another person, he decided to become a fucking lawyer instead of YouTube. What have you done to people? After this conversation, am I gonna like take up a job? I'm gonna like decide to go become like an ice road trucker?
No, I mean I just think it's all about like just balance. I think like you got your priorities straight, your head on straight, all that. So no, I'm not really worried about you. I mean, sometimes I'll be watching your stream, you'd be raging. I'm like, oh no, man's blood pressure's through the roof right now. But no, I think you're good. And yeah, so we started doing Guess Who's. Then, I was like, hey, what if we do like Mutt draft, or back then it was Draft Champions, but like we just say left, middle, or right for the other person, and we play, and we started doing stuff like that. And I think we had really good chemistry. Like he was kind of like a lot more outgoing and kind of like with that. And I was kind of a bit more chill, and then it kind of seemed like I always beat him over and over because he was always doing like stupid things. And so yeah, no, it was really good for both of us for sure. And that's like when I first started getting sponsors and stuff like that. And then yeah, unfortunately, obviously he, that whole thing happened with kind of like I guess he like wasn't paying his editors, and then like we just kind of had some stuff which is going to happen in business that like I was frustrated with. So then yeah, I guess kind of when all that happened, I probably like piled on it as well, which looking back I probably shouldn't have done. And then now after being in the space now for like 10 years and seeing what other YouTubers have done, seeing a lot of the same stuff that he got called out for, such as like thumbnails where he's like, oh, playing Steph Curry 1v1, and he would like Photoshop it to make it look like they're playing 1-on-1 in real life when he was just doing like a 2K challenge. I know he got a lot of heat for that. Now I see a lot of the same people that called him out for that doing the same thing. So yeah, there's some jealousy, isn't it? There's some things he did that was like not cool. And and there, there's like some personal stuff, but yeah, I just think I've seen a lot worse, and I think maybe he actually, like, yeah, did he need to change some things for sure? But I don't know. I don't know if that's kind of what pushed him away as well. But like I said, I mean, yeah, it was shitty, but
Yeah.
I don't think it was like, kind of almost seemed like he got like the death penalty for what we see so many other people doing today now,
Yeah, a few things there. Was it not paying his editors or not like crediting his editors in his description? I think I don't forget which one it was.
Right.
But
Well, I remember asking him one time and being like, "Hey, like, because his edits were obviously very good, and mine, I do basic shit. I'm still doing basic stuff to this day." And I remember he's like, "Oh, I spent like 6 hours editing this video." I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's insane." Then come to find out, it wasn't even him editing. So I was just kind of like, that was just kind of weird to me. Like, why not just be like, "Oh yeah, I'm paying someone to edit my videos."
yeah, it is weird. Maybe he thought it was more pure to the art form of YouTube. Because like, here's the thing: is like, I feel like YouTube has changed from back in that era, where like a lot of people, it was like more like ashamed to be making money off of it, and like so like doing stuff like that, clickbaiting really hard back in the day was really frowned upon because it was people trying to keep it like quote unquote honorable or nothing. But like what you talk about, like yeah, people aren't calling Patrick Mahomes to help build their Mutt team. Like people aren't doing that kind of stuff. So like. Yeah, it's true. Absolutely. People, the game's evolved because like nowadays it feels like get your bag, king, right? Like, take the sponsor, get the deal, take the money, provide for your family. So I think like overall what's the word? The community and the sentiment around creating content now is so different because I feel like here's the thing, as a viewer, it's kind of like how like the old rock and roll artists like don't sell out the corporate, be pure, be everything, and like you could say that as a viewer when you're not the one making the money or trying to like make it into a career. And I think what happened is so many viewers now try and make content to make money that they see, hey, wait a minute, I think it's a positive to try and make money off of this because it's better than working a 9 to 5. So it's good to try and quote unquote get that bag, sell out, do that kind of thing. So the overall sentiment was something like back in the day, there weren't a lot of rock stars, right? There weren't a lot of people making music, movies or music at all. And now everybody's trying it, whether it's SoundCloud, YouTube, Twitch, all these different, like it's become more democratized, and people like, oh yeah, maybe we should be trying to get money off of this thing since it is tough. And like you said, so many people doing it, it's kind of done. Like how much do you think that plays into it? Like people actually see the inside, and they can no longer hold people to a standard that they don't need to be held to themselves.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said, I just kind of feel like it just almost kind of seemed like he, got like a life sentence for now what we see, people, maybe they get called out for it and they'll say, oh, my bad. And that's that, whereas like he essentially, got so much shit for it where I think it almost kind of like pushed him away. I remember, it was a friend of his in real life that was editing for him, and he's just like, yeah, this is how many hours I'm putting in, this is how much I'm getting paid. I'm like, dude, it's super screwed up, especially if you guys are real life friends. And he's like, yeah, it's like, can you like, please like, help me out. I'm just trying to get this out there. So that's not because like, dude, even though we make these awesome videos together, like that's not cool. And then like 2 weeks later, that same kid was like, oh yeah, we're fine. Like he's paying me more and, I'm still editing for him. I was like, dude, you just had me like go out and pile on this kid that was already getting piled on by 100 other YouTubers. And then 2 weeks later, you're telling me like, oh, it's cool, So, I mean, like I said, looking back, I wish I for sure would have did it differently and just, just sat down with them and just been like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, you're making a bunch of money off this. If you have editors, Like I remember, like the first time we kind of we were at the same event, and like we were all, me and other content creators were there. It's the first time we've all met each other in real life. Pretty much the first time a lot of us did something like that. And he like went and set off to the side and was like editing. He was like redoing his outro, so he didn't even like sit down with us and chill, And so I don't know. I just wish I could go back and just be like, bro, like take a step back. You're super successful at a young age. You're super entertaining. You have all these things going for you. Just, take a step back, maybe do things a little bit differently. And that's that. But yeah, like I said, I just kind of feel like now seeing it 6-7 years later, Like I said, it just kind of feels like he got a life sentence for what now
Well,
is a minor charge.
yeah, I don't even know if it's a charge anymore. Like to clickbait people because it's been done so much. But like, here's the thing: is like, I don't know. Like he was like quote unquote canceled or whatever, or I don't know what he's up to right now. I don't. Do you know what he's up to right now?
I don't.
We're talking
I mean,
about Lost and Unbound for people that are just tuning in.
yeah, I really don't. I mean, I've like heard some things that like he's doing well, and like I hope he is. I remember, like I said, I feel bad for how I handled the situation, and when I got like COVID in 2020, he out the blue 4 years later is like, "Yo, you're too young to be dealing with like health shit. Like, hope you're doing good." And I was like, "Yo, right back at you, bro." And he's like, I think I might come back. Maybe we do a 1v1 video. And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Let me know." And then like nothing ever became of it. So. It kind of seemed like he was thinking about a comeback. Personally, I mean, I think he should. It sounds like he's still like got a good life, and I think he's got some good stuff going on for him from the people I've talked to. But again, that's all I don't know for sure. It's just from outside sources, and I mean, yeah, I think if he would make a comeback, I think he should. I don't think he, like I said, even if he did do some shitty things, I don't think. He needs to be canceled off the internet forever.
And the thing is, like, I feel like he canceled himself. Like, I know people, like, everybody would shit on him, which is, something you don't really see that often. And, I think, like, he was an innovator and a lot of that stuff. And people are like, oh, he's just, like, making kids content. He's cringy. He's doing all these things, like you said, clickbaiting. But, like, he could have continued to do that. And like, the crazy thing is, like, I talked to MMG last week about his run-ins with Keemstar, Pokimane, where he's gotten like, big issues and drama and stuff. And he said like, that's whatever, but it was like the Angry Joe show going in on him about like, I think he did like 1,000, like a mega pack opening or something. And he became like, I didn't watch the Angry Joe show video, but basically I'm relating what MMG said. Like he said that was the worst because he had respected Angry Joe up to that point because there's other reviews about Madden was like true. And like, so like the points, and so it was like almost, it wasn't necessarily like the outside hate, but the people that he respected that he had the hardest time with. And he was like in a funk for like weeks, and he talked to other people that had gone through something similar. So like at that level, getting called out, but you said, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people that were, kind of, doing things with him and videos, maybe that's what kind of devastated him more than anything.
Yeah, no, I could completely get that, which is why I said, I even kind of, I feel bad for how I handled it, I would definitely do it differently and be like, bro, what you're doing is wrong, but, just take a step back. And like someone else said in your chat, like people have short-term memory. Like on the internet, you can actually do like some super fucked up shit and people seem to forget about it quickly until the next thing comes around, So, I mean, yeah, that's just kind of how I see it.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Cause like you've been in, like for somebody so like mellow and low key, you've been in actually quite a bit of drama too.
Oh. Well, no, I feel like it's been two things, and they were both like two very big things.
Yeah.
But other than that, considering 10 years, I feel like there's really never, I don't know. I'd like to think it's not like consistent or anything. It's just been two big things. And then like you said, a lot of people do look at me as, more mellow and laid back. So then when they see those things, they're kind of like, whoa, wait a second.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of interesting. I guess like those big ones are easy to remember versus if it's drama every day, then it all kind of blends together. It's true. Like because you were part of the two hype, for those who don't know, the house and everything, and then stuff went down. We don't have to go into it. I personally don't think it's that interesting. But like I don't know, like that shit went south, right?
I mean, yeah.
Didn't you have like sex with one of them's girlfriends or something?
Stop. You're trolling, right?
Yeah, I made it interesting.
Fuck off. Yeah, I mean, just kind of shit went south, and then, I mean, dude, that happened. It's funny. Like, I remember I had to, just make my video on that situation, which I didn't want to do because, again, some people are even confused by this. Like, at that point, I was already out the group for almost like 2 years, I think it was like maybe like 14, 15 months to be exact. So maybe closer to a year, but it was well over a year. And like the only reason why I really even got brought up, because once it happened, I was like, okay, this is shitty, but it is what it is. I've just moved on. I didn't even say a word about it. No tweets, no videos, nothing. But then obviously once they had, the falling out with another person in the group, that's when then people started bringing up what happened to me and Los. And then I still wasn't going to say anything about it. And then, it's just kind of like a couple of jabs on Twitter. It was like really the first time in like years. But even then I didn't look at it as anything too big. But then like one of them made a video that is now deleted, just kind of like saying a lot of stuff that was, probably out of emotions and a bit reckless. And then he, apologized for it. So then that's why I made my video in response. But yeah, it's funny because like if that video never gets made, I'd never make my video, and to this day, people would just be questioning what happened.
Yeah. Just interesting. Like you're just out there sleeping with all their girlfriends and stuff. It was kind of hilarious when you're like, got the bomb dropped and whatnot, and it was very interesting. You're just a regular Lothario out there. It's crazy. Maybe that's why you move so much. You slept with the entire city's base of women. So hide your girls.
Definitely not it.
Hide your moms.
Yeah, LA girls weren't my thing, anyways. Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, that was at that point was already 15 months old to me, and I never said a peep about it. Didn't plan on it, so it was dumb that I had to. It was the thing that was like shitty about it was just and like you kind of brought this up with LnU. Like these were people I thought were like. Dude, almost I would say like family, and then just one day, just out the blue, like just cut you off, never talk to you again, and just over business, or I guess they feel as personal stuff. I don't know. I never felt that way over anything, but regardless, I mean that's that. And then also, I don't know if you know this, I have another Twitter account. Made another Twitter account where it's got like 5,000 followers, and I had my DMs open. And I would tell people. If you're ever going through like shit or just need life advice, hit my DMs. And I couldn't respond to anyone, but I probably responded to like maybe 2,500 people on there. I would give them like in-depth answers, because I just want to like help people going through stuff, and I saw some of those people that like, reached out to me like, yo, TD, like even stuff saying like they were suicidal, and I would like message them back and forth for a couple weeks, and they'd be like doing better. And then to see those people, like when that situation happened, before even hearing my side, like they're DMing me on that account and like, oh bro, go fuck yourself, like you're a piece of shit. And I'm like, damn, like these people don't even got my back. I was like, shit, internet is cold.
People are harsh reactors and stuff, and It is crazy who would stick by and who wouldn't, and that's why they show their kind of inner workings, inner personality like that. After they talk to you, realize what kind of person you are, and then immediately turn on you because of one side of a story, right? And that ended up being false.
Right. So, I mean, all I asked for was like at least like listen to my side first.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I was that kind of that's why I don't even like really tweet anymore. I haven't posted on Instagram and like maybe a story here and there, but I haven't posted like an Instagram post in I think well over a year now.
The betrayals, huh?
Yeah,
really?
I mean,
random people betrayals, huh?
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, that's why like once I'm kind of like done doing my whole YouTube thing, like I'll probably just delete all my social media and like that's that, Like, I'll just be gone. Like,
live your life.
Yeah.
I mean, social media is oftentimes not worth the effort. And like, dude, opening up an account and answering 2,500 DMs seems like the epitome of torture to me.
It's kind of why I started YouTube. I just wanted to, like life could be tough for people. I just wanted to make videos where people, come home from work or they're going through something shitty, because that's what I did back in the day, whether it's like when I tore my rotator cuff and I couldn't play basketball for like the next year, and it changed all my college plans and all that. I went on YouTube and watched videos. I watched Chris Move, stuff like that. So then that's just kind of like what I wanted to be for other people, and I felt I could take that next step by like making that Twitter account and just being like, hey, if you guys are actually going through some rough stuff and you feel you don't have someone to talk to, message me, you know? So
It's like, yeah, like a superhero origin story. That's kind of neat of you. Your motivations and your like, your background and just trying to help people is kind of cool. And you know what? It makes me feel bad. So let's stop talking about it because I have nowhere near that motivation.
well, no, but
at all.
you do probably so much more than you even think. I mean, there's been times where, if I'm having like a shitty morning or get some shitty news, like I turn on a Gutfoxx stream and feel a little bit better, have a couple of laughs,
You see this fucking guy getting pissed at some digital ones and zeros. You're like, you know what? Actually, I don't have it so bad. This guy's got fucking major anger issues.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing fucking you throw a pass, it gets deflected, a D lineman picks it off, returns it for a pick six. All of a sudden, I feel a little better.
All right, that's fair enough. People, sorry, I just want to catch up with some questions that we had in the chat. Somebody said, "What's the other controversy?" We talked about the first controversy, which was the LnU lost and Unbound, and then the two hype were the two big ones that we want to talk about. Somebody asked you, "How are you doing? How are you and Walker nowadays?" Like, I guess he doesn't keep up that you literally did a video with Walker just a couple days ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously we lived together for like years and years and years, and then I mean, yeah, he's just he's someone else that he's moved his parents down to Florida and helped them, so he's got all that stuff, and then he's got seems like a serious relationship going on, which is really good. Seems like he's got a really great girlfriend. So I mean, yeah, we're just kind of like a bit older, but yeah, we still talk like every day. We just did that video. We have plans of doing more videos together. I mean, yeah, we're still family. So yeah, nothing like that has changed. It's just we're not just around each other 24/7 like we were when we were younger 20s,
Yeah, and obviously living together would be pretty different than now. So yeah, you guys would be daily stuff. Is Walker how's he doing overall? Because I know he hates Madden too.
Oh yeah, he hates it. Like really
how's he doing
hates
with content?
What was that?
How's he doing with content?
I think he just does no money spent, and I think he'll probably start kind of doing some more franchise stuff. But he does really, really good with like computers. And I feel like just with the way he lives his life, and like I said, now he's in a serious relationship, maybe just having like a normal job with like weekends off is better for him. So I think he might get into some computer stuff that, yeah, I mean, obviously that pays well. And like I said, you're on a more set schedule, whereas like Madden content creation is kind of like every day,
Uh-huh.
So I think he might like do that in the next like couple of years.
Oh, good for him. Good for him. Yeah, because I like seeing him streaming and stuff, and I like stop in. I like Walker. Good chill dude. I want to. Damn it! What was my other one? Hey, have you heard about these coin wipe situations?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
So, why do you think EA, like, okay, they take our money and then they wipe our coins for like participating in their game? Like, how come they haven't figured out, hey, maybe don't like be a jerk to your audience? Like, why does it seem such like an antagonistic attitude from EA to us in the community?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's two things. I think number one, for years and years and years, and we've actually, I think, there's been what you could say is peak Madden 20, all that. Like coin deals have always been a thing, right? And obviously EA, there's some people at EA I've talked to, they said, at the end of the day, coin deals are like a drop of water in a lake for us, But obviously there's some higher ups at EA that have now taken a much more aggressive approach to, coins and stuff like that. And we've kind of seen EA almost they're almost like selling coins themselves with like platinum packs and, if you buy these 4 packs, you're going to get a guaranteed 92. They're kind of like almost just selling cards at that point. They've done stuff, like you said, the level caps to get in the Mutt draft and head-to-head. The level caps are for, to stop like bots from, getting coins.
Yeah. Yep.
Some people argue it destroys the market, but like I said, we've seen like prime years of Madden and like coin deals have always been a thing. And now they set up these automated systems that are now, like price ranges have become a thing, and now we see people getting like coin wipe because they're like, okay, it looks like you're doing suspicious activity, even though you're just completing these outrageous sets for Team Diamonds, or you sell a John Elway for 8 million coins because you're like, you grinded and you're like the first one to get them out in the auction house. So it seems like it's automated systems that I feel like aren't necessary, and it's hurting some of their, like, you know, their strongest fan base, like people that are like super dedicated to Mutt. And that just all comes back to just kind of like money and greed.
I mean, it's like, it's so weird to me to like hit your most, like, and they've done this multiple times, to hit your most dedicated fan base, like fans and stuff. Like, Mutt's already like determined by the whales, and the fact that you're banning whales from the goddamn game just for, like, you know, participating in stuff. And like, I think, like, dude, in the old thing, like, you'd rather have 10 guilty go free than to kill one innocent person or lock one innocent person up. It feels like it's the exact opposite at EA sometimes. And I realize, like, you know, bots have taken over in recent years. They've been better against that lately, ever since we, you know, made them aware of how awful the bot issue is in this game. But like, dude, it seems so strange. Like, because like in FIFA, like I've heard people talk, don't buy cards near the top of their price range because you will get banned by part of their automated system. Like, I feel like, you know, you put in a ban appeal, and then then they'll look at your account. But like, feel like before you get banned, that should be looked at. Like, they should have a flag, and then a human should review it before the ban actually gets issued to make sure to see you as a bot. It seems backwards to me and lazy. Is there that many bots that they can't like manually review every person they ban?
Yeah, I don't know. And again, we're talking about EA, who's a billion-dollar company, you know?
Yeah.
They should be able to go above and beyond to be like, okay, this account got flagged. You know, he's got 20 million coins. He does a bunch of transactions every day. He completed the Team Diamond sets. He's paying more for, you know, lower tier cards, and he just sold a top tier card for 8 million coins. And then, like you said, it should be manually reviewed. But yeah, I don't get the whole, their automation system is terrible, and I don't think it should be a thing. Because it's like someone said, when I got people at EA saying, well, you know, at the end of the day, that's just kind of like a drop in a lake. Well, if it's just a drop in a lake, why are we going to such extremes and now messing the game up for some of your most hardcore players?
Yeah, the amount of money they're losing due to those bans is greater than the amount of money they'd make, which sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a couple years ago. I never even went
still
public with it. I think it was last year, actually. My No Money Spent account got banned. And I have no idea why. Never got an explanation, but I sent in the case, and, you know, luckily, because I have direct communication line, I was able to get unbanned. But I never got an explanation why. And it's like, okay, well, it's cool that I got unbanned, but there's dozens and dozens, probably hundreds, maybe even thousands of other people in the same situation, and they're not going to get unbanned maybe anytime soon, if ever. And then that kind of all goes back to, again, this is why I refuse to really do anything Ultimate Team the rest of the year. Not spending money. I'll do No Money Spent, but as far as content, gameplay for top cards, spending money, I ain't doing it no more.
Yeah, it seems so strange to me. I've lost, you know, people in my community have said in, you know, YouTube comments, Twitter comments, Twitch here, I've probably lost, you know, just for us as creators, like those people stop playing Madden, stop watching because they're so pissed off at the goddamn game because of it. How do you keep watching after getting clapped like that? And it's like, so it's harming the entire ecosystem around. Like it's you know, personal, and it's so like. They're not getting any explanation, right? Like, you know, getting permabanned, and they ain't saying shit why. They're like, oh, you were cheating, you were coining something. It just seems weird, and I don't understand why EA is so strange about this whole situation when it's absolutely just, I feel like, killing the community. And we all see these wipes too, and we all see it like, and the people talk about it. And obviously, not everybody online is gonna be telling the truth. Some people get banned. If they're, you know, some people that are botting, like, you know, packs and stuff, or like, you know, doing certain things. Yeah, I could see that, but like, I think a majority of them have been false bans as of late for a lot of people that are claiming it, and it's just, I don't know, overall disappointing. And it feels like we have no recourse, because like you said, like EA never says anything. Like Pack Strike, they never said anything. Like okay, the most they ever said about Pack Strike verbally, outside of like, some of the things they put into the game, was after Guru came on this podcast a few weeks ago when he said, yeah, we put little Jimmy in the game and like part of the Halloween content that 1 year to show that like we actually heard them, because they didn't mention little Jimmy in 18 when that came out, because I don't know, for some reason they don't like to talk about bad things. The what we saw the next 2 weeks is EA chose solo battle teams with the name Pack Strike in them, and that's like the extent of their communication around Pack Strike. So it feels like there's still like frustratingly little communication on so many like important topics. Like they got to come out and tell us, why are these people like getting banned, and what are they doing to solve their automated systems being trash made by absolute morons? I mean, they're not gonna say the last part, but so weird.
Yeah, and I feel like we're not even like, are we asking for that much? Like, I understand at the end of the day, they're a business and they got to make business decisions. But like I said, we've had peak years like Madden 20, where we had Superstar KO, which is super fun and casual for people. We had draft being updated every now and then, not even every day, every now and then, was super fun for people. We had, Mutt. We had, people. There was coin sellers and stuff like that, but I don't know. It just seemed like those were like peak years, and then now it's like I get where they're coming from. Like, yes, if you're a business, you want to maximize profits, all that, but like, at what point you're like, okay, we're trying to maximize profits so much that we're actually just pushing everybody away,
Yeah.
And I feel like as a
Exactly
business, it's like, okay, we're still gonna make billions of dollars, but we'll kind of let this stuff slide, and because we're not gonna hurt a bunch of people.
Yeah, EA's got this arrogance to them where like, oh yeah, people are gonna continue. It's football, right? The old excuse. It's football. And people are gonna like. It's the same thing they said about mobile. Like people just play because it's football. We can treat them how we want. They took away the auction block. They took away packs that you can purchase with coins. And they're like, yeah, people are still gonna play it. And then we saw what happened. It was a major exodus. And like people don't really play that app anymore, except for obviously whales. And then like there's not that many whales left anymore because whales don't want to just play against other whales, and then keeping up is like $1,000 a week or some shit like that. So I don't know. I just don't want Mutt to ever get to that point. So fighting tooth and nail on every single one of these things that we see is super important, and we got to keep giving them feedback. And I mean, I'm not talking to you or anything. I'm just saying that in general, because they can absolutely kill this game. Like the NFL is big. But like so was MLB, and when 2K had the MLB license, the exclusive one, they fucked that up. But now that SDS puts out a good product for MLB, oh, it's selling like gangbusters, right? So, you can still kill a game even though the demand is there.
I mean, you could even argue, look at the amount of people that watch the NBA versus the NFL, and look at the amount of people that play 2K versus Madden.
True.
So,
yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, to me, and like I said, I'm just doing this going off of, comments I get, and you kind of brought that up with, people that have been in your community for a while. I'm also just going off of, friends I talk to every day. Like I said, the ones I would play Mutt Draft with, stuff like that. Oh, you want to play Superstar KO? Sure. It does feel dead because none of those people that I know play anymore, and they have no drive to play anymore. So for me, it actually already does feel dead.
That sucks.
And like I said, I don't know. I don't hop on Madden. I'm like, oh, let me just play some Madden for fun. That's not a thing. If you hit me up 2 years ago and said, hey, TD, I need one more for Superstar KO, you got me? I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll hop on. That's not a thing anymore.
Wild. No, I'm just like, I know there's like dead air and stuff, but I'm just thinking about how sad that is.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing like Skyrim.
Jesus.
That game came out in like 2011 or something,
Yeah.
So.
Oh, wild. I kind of want to talk about the YouTube game a little bit. And like, how do you, like, how much do you like really think about the game between I know you said you just got a thumbnail person, but like, you edit your own videos. For what purpose?
Yeah, I don't know. I've just kind of always it's just kind of always been that way, and it's like, I think maybe in the next, I think maybe soon, I'm probably gonna teach my brother and then hire him to edit my videos. Um, but yeah, I've just kind of always done it myself. I've just kind of always been, I don't know, why not just do it myself? If I can do something, I'll just do it. I
Seems
guess
silly. Not gonna lie, like your time is the most valuable thing in the world.
I know.
I mean, it just seems weird that like for as big of a channel you have, and let me take a look. You have 1.1 million subscribers on YouTube. To edit your own video seems like an incredible misuse of your time versus
Yeah,
paying
I
somebody.
mean, I definitely don't do like if I was giving someone advice on like what to do for YouTube, uh, what I do and what I say would definitely be different. Like another huge thing is we actually talked about this before. Um, in 2020, like when I was averaging about like I actually have all this written down because I had to like send this to YouTube because they were like reviewing it. I was averaging like 283,000 views like to the dot per video. And then obviously, once I like got COVID and took some time off to, like regain my health because again, my body sucks. So me getting sick from COVID is not surprising for anybody. So I'm not like putting that out there to like scare people. But
Boo!
yeah, when I
It's
came
spooky season.
back, I saw like a 58%, 63% drop off in views, and the biggest thing was like impressions. And, I was told, you could leave for a year and come back and you're going to be fine. So I didn't really like see that correlation. There was like a big drop off. And now
Yeah.
it's kind of gotten to the point where like my video the other day had like 140,000 impressions. And for everyone listening, if you don't know what impressions are, it's people that see your videos, not necessarily click your videos. Um, so nowadays on YouTube, it's all about like getting recommended.
Yeah.
And obviously, if I have 1.1 million subscribers and I'm only getting 170,000 people to see a video, I can only get a certain amount of views, right?
Yep.
So I sent this to YouTube. They actually responded. I could send you this. It was kind of funny. Um, they said, well, you want to get recommended. Your sub box subscribers doesn't actually mean that much anymore. You want to get recommended. So they said, for the top videos that get recommended, it's like 10 out of 100 people click on it. So for every 100 people that see it, which is 100 impressions, 10 people click on it, you get 10 views. Now they showed my channel, and I'm averaging like 15, 16 clicks per 100 views. So I'm like above and beyond what they're recommending or what does get
Yeah.
recommended. And
Yeah.
then the other thing they said was watch time. And it said, really popular videos that get recommended average like a 5 minute and 30-second watch time for 10-minute videos. And then for mine, it said like, for your 10-minute videos, your average watch time is like 7 minutes, which is actually like, that's super good. So I sent this to
Yeah.
YouTube. It was just kind of like, okay, based off your recommendations or based off, your criteria, I should be getting recommended, but then they just say, oh, well, it's an algorithm. So it seems like now, and I've seen an example that comes to mind is like, Cypher PK, for example. I don't know if people know him, but I saw him, he had like 6 channels. He had like one for Fortnite that like blew up. And then Fall Guys blew up. And I'm like, okay, why doesn't he post Fall Guys on his main channel? Obviously a lot of people like it. He made a channel for Fall Guys. And then he had a channel just for Warzone. So I've actually had people at YouTube tell me that I should make a new channel. I have like my really core community. I should have Madden on one channel, 2K on one channel, and I really shouldn't cross over unless you have like just kind of like an insane community. But then for me, it's like, my manager has been like, well, if you do that, you are going to like lose sponsors. Sponsors don't just look at views. They look at like sub counts and in your community and stuff like that. So for me, yeah, I'm kind of like in a weird spot where what I say is different versus what I do. So yes, I still edit my videos. I still have I should be making, newer channels to try and, do things for the algorithm. I should be pushing out shorts. But I don't do any of that. So
Even my dumbass does that. Make new YouTube channels like that. Like, why don't you just take the sponsor hit for a little bit and just like ride the new wave of YouTube?
uh maybe I'm just content. But like with where I'm at in my YouTube goals and just kind of like, and then, financially, I'm like, in a good spot. So I don't know if that would be, I feel like the need to do it. I don't even know if I would want to. Because then at that point, like, am I doing this for fun or is it a job? Is it a business? And there's nothing wrong. I know there's some people that look at it as like, this is my business. I want to have like the biggest business in the world. But for me, it's just kind of like you said, I wake up, I play an hour, hour and a half of Madden. I edit that for an hour and a half, and then that's it, you know? Like, I feel like I'm like one of the luckiest people in the world, even though the game sucks, but I'm still very, very, grateful for like the position I'm in. So I don't really feel the need to change it up. And I feel like some people, even kind of look at it as like, oh, I'm glad, because I feel like nowadays YouTube's almost turning into more like TikTok content, which like that's just not my thing. I feel like I would be changing. I feel like I'd be changing like almost my persona just to, do stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just kind of just still doing what I'm doing, and that's kind of that.
To hear the difference between you this week and MMG last week is just it's insane. Like the way like people can approach this platform be two completely different ways, and both have their own success and stuff. And like the crazy thing is like obviously you are fine. Like you don't want to see this as a business, which is just psycho to me. Like you just want to like seems like it's having fun instead of seeing it as a job, which is like just wild because MMG only sees it as a business, as a thing to do. Like whereas like you both barely play the game, but like he just wants to make content that people like watch and doesn't really care. But there's like you care and want to have fun with it. I don't know. It's wild to me.
Right, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like there's there's really absolutely nothing wrong with his approach. I think you kind of listen to this music. Do you know a group called Boston?
Yeah, foreplay, long time.
Yeah, do you know the song "Peace of Mind"?
I might have heard it, but I don't remember.
You should listen to it. And like one of like the one of the main parts of the song is like everyone's living in competition. I just want my peace of mind, and that's one of my favorite songs of all time. And the song kind of talks about there's like all these people like trying to work their way up the corporate ladder. They feel I need bigger and better, and it's just kind of like one day like it's to be blunt, like it's all going to be over, and it's not really going to. A lot of stuff isn't going to matter, So I just at my point. With me right now, I'm just for me it's just peace of mind and hanging out with family, and that's that.
Are you a nihilist?
What is that? I don't even know what that means.
It's not even an ethos. It's like nothing matters, man.
No, I don't believe that. I think for me, I think the biggest thing I could do, and we kind of talked about this earlier with my other Twitter account, is just kind of like one, people. Hopefully, like one, inspire people, and two, help people, and then those people inspire people and help people, and then that just kind of goes on till the end of time. Like I said, I've talked to people that have been in really rough spots, and a couple years later, they're in really good spots, and then they have like kids now, and then I know damn well they're raising good kids, and then I feel like their kids will go on to like raise good kids. So I just kind of feel like that's like the one thing. That'll go on forever.
I feel you. I'm more of like a misfits guy that talks about killing babies and raping moms. So I see why we differ a little bit here.
Yeah. No, I know you're just. No, I actually. People maybe be a bit surprised by like I definitely have like some dark humor, but yeah, just with YouTube nowadays, I don't really go there. So.
Yeah, somebody call it it's hippie life. Do you feel like that's kind of your path is just chilling, being one with the world, passing along, good vibe, like trying to help it out? Is that would you consider yourself how would you label yourself?
I don't know. Does it really matter what I label myself? Like,
of course, the nihilist would say that. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Sounds like shrooms or LSD to me. Have you become one with the walls that are moving on you?
Are we talking like Aaron Rodgers? Like I'm.
Oh, totally.
No, that's not even close. Nope. I'm. Man, I haven't had. I've never smoked. I don't smoke. I have nothing against it. I just don't do it. And then, I mean, I would drink now and then, but man, I haven't had a drink in months either. So no, I'm just chilling.
The only smoking you do is doing smoking hot
This man
babes
sounds
of.
like Eeyore. Definitely not. Definitely not. I know it's probably kind of how it came off, but no, definitely not like that. Um,
Well, I'm the one not wearing pants, so I could be the bear and you the Eeyore. We got ourselves a freaking regular old cartoon going here, eh?
yeah, absolutely. Sign
Yeah.
me up.
Fox trying to slap labels on everybody. Oh, I apologize. I just thought it was an interesting conversation. Yeah. One other thing I wanted to talk about. Somebody mentioned something earlier. I gotta write these comments down. I gotta write what I wanted to talk about. Mac Jones or well, this wasn't the question, but Mac Jones or Zap. Who's your number one?
Uh, I've never been too high on Mac Jones. I think he's solid. Like I think in the right system. I think we saw that a year ago. Decent team around him. He was, decent. I don't know how much better he's going to get. I think maybe Zap. I think maybe Bailey has a higher ceiling. Uh, so that's just kind of how I look at it. I think if you wanted to like go out, let's say you put, how do I want to word this? Let's say you needed like a game manager to go out. I don't know. Even Mac Jones has some horrible turnovers though. I don't know. I like I said, I think Bailey has a higher ceiling, and I think with Mac, you know what you're going to get, and he's decent, but I've never been too big on him.
Really? Yeah, I think it's tough going from greatest quarterback of all time to a couple of fringe average dudes, and
Yeah, absolutely.
seeing it happen. Belichick's really struggling. Obviously, I know a lot of New England is.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
mean,
sure.
I didn't expect them to make the playoffs this year, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Um. Hey, one more question. Hey, what are your feelings on TD Barrett stealing your name?
Okay. Uh, that's an interesting one. So yeah, he reached out to me like a way back, and he was just kind of like, he said he was thinking about changing his name, because a lot of people would like comment on his channel and be like, "Oh, you're the fake TD," I always really respected him because he would always grind out videos, and I used to say he was like the T Martin of the Madden community. Um, And I know, like, sometimes he'd like joke around with it. Like, he would take pictures with the two hype guys, and they'd be like, oh, it's like, Jester, LSK, and TD, and it'd be like him. And like, I used to like find it funny. And like, people, I know he got like for a while, a long time there, he would get like a lot of shit. Like, oh, you're the fake TD, you're copying TD. When in reality, it's like we actually did a few videos together. I know he made a video kind of talking about that as well. For him, it was like touchdown Barrett because he was a quarterback, and he'd throw a touchdown, and like in high school or whatever level he was playing at, he'd be like, oh, touchdown, like Brett Barrett. Whereas for me, I have a very confusing long name, so people used to call me by my initials, which was TD. So I was like TD as in like my name presents, like TD presents a Madden video.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
similar names, completely different meanings. I know he got a lot of shit for it before, and then now it's like the roles have reversed, where I get a lot of shit for it. They say I copied him, but it's just because obviously he's doing very well with like franchise and stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, it's like something we've both like dealt with. And it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, I knew like TD seems like one that's really good on the other TD on like capitalizing on trends and making his videos into something great, like in like stuff that people want to view, like on follow, like not necessarily following, but like I knew TD, like let me get to this point that I want to make. I knew TD was gonna make it in the YouTube game the moment I created a channel. I created this Gutfoxx. This is like 2014, 15, I don't remember. I followed Madden Ultimate Team's Twitter. I followed with this account, and I got an automated message from his Twitter account telling me to check out his channel. And
Oh
his
yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh my god, this guy. I know that he's gonna be able to do that, do like grow with that kind of like I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, like botting or shenanigans. Like I don't even know. Like it's like with that kind of like stick to itness or what's the word I'm looking for? Dedication, I guess, to getting subs. It was gonna work out for him.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, I just thought that was funny because you two have always been lumped together because of
I know.
having.
Yeah. The only time I really ever discussed it was man, who's that guy that worked at EA? His name was like Marcus.
Oh
And I
yeah.
remember when like TDBarrett passed me in subs. He's like, "Yo, congrats on being the most like followed TD." And then I know like TDBarrett retweeted it, and I was like, "Okay, I didn't know it was a competition. You know, it was like something I kind of always like laughed at and I even looked at it, I was like, damn, I almost feel like it could benefit us. You know, people be like, wait a
Yeah.
second, there's two of them. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know, maybe to him it was like a competition or something, but like I said, I've always I thought he was like the T Martin of the Madden community. Just
Yeah, because he
uploading.
was like the little bro of the relationship, and his entire goal was to pass you, right?
That's what I was told. I I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I never looked at it that way, but like I said, that's
You know, you were his main motivating drive. That's got to feel good, man. Look at like he's having great success because of you. Look at that.
no,
You're
I
providing
think
more
it's more
positivity.
because he's probably oh my gosh, he's probably uploaded what, like 2,500 videos, 3,000.
Just take the credit for his entire success.
Oh yeah,
and
right.
we just move on. Yeah.
0% is what I deserve.
You're his origin story, bro. You got to take that. You're the slang of Batman's parents to him.
No, that shows like that should be motivating for a lot of people. For years and years and years, his views obviously weren't that crazy, but like I said, he would always upload and upload and upload. I mean, I remember there's times, I think one month he posted, I forget, it was years ago, he posted like, oh, I got like 3 million views this month. But if you looked at his per video views, it wasn't that crazy. But since he worked so hard and posted so much, he was still getting like 3 million views a month. And then now he's still doing the same thing, but now he's averaging like 150, 200 a video, you know? So like,
Yeah.
and it took him years to get to that point. And all he's ever done is just post and post and post and post. And he's stuck with it. So I think that's a lot of people could look at that and be like, that's inspiring that he just worked his ass off and just kept at it for super long. And now he's,
I mean,
look at him now.
hard work gets you some places, but it's about knowing how to work. Like it's kind of like those Madden players that you see have like 1,000 games played, but they have like a 500 record and they kind of suck at the game, versus like players that have fewer games played but are actually way better and have a way better ratio because they know how the game plays. So it's like a combination for him.
Yeah, no, it's definitely both. Working smarter and not harder it's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
But you can working hard and just being optimistic will get you places for sure. Even if
Totally.
you feel you're at a disadvantage and stuff like that. I actually saw someone in your chat say to this day, Addy Cards is probably the best Madden YouTuber. Oh man, do you know who that is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's he might have been the first Madden guy I watched. So that's pretty cool to see someone bring that up.
Well, do you want to talk about him at all, and like why he died?
I don't know. I'm it's not someone I've ever talked to or anything. I just remember that was like 2011, I think, for me.
Oh yeah, he went through Madden 25, and then he said I think something like he hated Madden 15, and then he went on to FIFA, did FIFACon for a little bit, then quit that and just disappeared off the face of the internet, and we haven't heard from him since. I feel like one time in Madden 18, I played like an account named that. I'm like, shit, am I playing? It might have been even Madden 17. Am I playing the real Addy Cards here? And obviously couldn't tell since schemes change over time, users was different, but it was kind of like, dang, maybe because they're pretty good at the game, but you never know. You never really know, and it's this internet thing's all temporary for all of us, and we're just kind of here having a good time for as long as we can.
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly.
But
But
yeah,
it's interesting that he just kind of like bounced without saying anything, you know?
yeah, yeah. It just decided to stop uploading and poof, gone.
I see some people saying a TD versus TD Madden game. We actually did that once. It was years ago. It was years and years ago. I think I might have won that series. I'm not totally sure. I know it was kind of close, but then yeah, no. Nowadays that wouldn't be. I'd probably lose by at least 30.
Yeah, he's gone real comp with his regs and everything. And here's the thing:
Yeah,
is like anybody can look good playing regs. Nobody good plays regs. Like you go to regs, you'll win like 100 games in a row, dog.
really.
The real hardcore are in Mutt. That's where the
Gotcha.
comp is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, like I said, I'm kind of more doing like franchise now, and we're like coach suggestions for the first half, and then that's that.
He went to see about a girl. There it is. That's a good ending for him. Um, yeah. Oh my God, TD, read my comment. He's the goat. They love you. They love you.
What do you think of the Steelers trade?
The trade with Claypool.
Yeah.
I was fine with it. Overall, I like Claypool. They didn't really like use him great. They put him into the slot here, and he's not really a slot receiver. But he played small for as big as he was. He wasn't really like his rookie year showed so much promise, and then it like never happened again. And I blame a little bit of that on Canada. Well, a lot of that on Matt Canada, our offense coordinator, probably the worst offense coordinator in the NFL right now. So like I think if the Bears can use him correctly, he's going to be producing quite a bit more for them. But a second round pick for a guy who didn't really do a lot for the offense this year is not a bad return. I mean, we drafted him as a second round pick, and then he played a few years for us, and now we're getting a second round pick back for him. Overall, good for the franchise to get that kind of compensation, but sad overall that he wasn't able to fulfill the potential that we all dreamed he could have had.
Yeah, no, I think the Steelers got really good value, especially with it being the Bears' second round pick and not the Ravens. I think that's for
Yeah.
how he's been performing and kind of how also his reputation is. Not that it's a bad one. I just kind of feel like you said, he just hasn't performed since as well as his rookie year. I think
Yeah.
that's really good. And I feel like that's a trade that, there's not always losers in trades. I think that could be Steelers go and draft someone really good in that spot. And then maybe Claypool goes to the Bears and they use him better and he's back to, 8 to 10 touchdowns and it's a win-win for both teams.
Yeah, it very well could be. Like the crazy thing is, like I think the Bears, like people saying, "Oh, it's an overpay." I think the Bears had to pay that because the Packers might have been offering a second too that day, and then like they couldn't offer the Ravens because the Ravens might have a late second round pick too, so they had to offer their own, which could be a little bit earlier, and that's why the Steelers took the Bears over the Packers second. But like just wild to me that like the NFC North hates the Packers so much that they'd make that trade, that expensive of a trade, just to spite the rivals to the north of them, which I thought was just great divisional football.
Yeah, no, everyone made moves except the Packers in that division.
When the quarterbacks like, can I get somebody? Because like they're like all the receiver core is like injured too. They only got like freaking Dobbs left, I think.
I know, but at this point, it's been like I feel like it's been 4 or 5 years of being like, okay, who are the Packers going to get for this guy? And it's nobody.
How's a backup quarterback feel? Take one of them in the first round.
Oh, I know. I couldn't believe that.
They took two trash first rounders, at least performing this year so far.
Yeah.
You got a guy that doesn't even touch the field as an interior defensive tackle. The linebacker got kicked out, I saw early last game, but he kind of seems like, underwhelming so far. But linebacker's a tough position, to be fair, because you got to know so much of the defense. But yeah, overall, what a tragedy not trading up in the draft for the Packers.
I know. And I'm a big believer, like, if you have a really good quarterback that can get it done, bring you Super Bowl, I really believe in valuing players over picks. And kind of not necessarily going all in, but kind of going all in, Otherwise, you're going to be like Buffalo, who hasn't won a Super Bowl in 50 years. Like, it's
Yeah.
really hard to win a Super Bowl. You can have really, really good quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers has, I mean, they've had Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre like the last, what, 30 years? What do they
Yep.
have? 2 Super Bowls to show for it?
Yep. We're like, yeah, and it's like it's crazy to me. Like, look at what Jalen Hurts was, and then boom, 18th overall pick for AJ Brown, and then AJ Brown single-handedly destroyed the Steelers on literally like fucking like one-on-one and like in coverage passes over this past week. And you're like, oh wow, Jalen Hurts, competent quarterback. It makes it like, dude, it's like freaking. Remember Moss and Madden 20 when his X Factor lit up? It's pretty easy to play quarterback when all you got to do is say, screw it, Moss down there somewhere. Screw it, AJ Brown down there somewhere. You know, Josh Allen went from like everybody hating this guy, got Diggs, and like, oh my God, him and Gabriel Davis right now make Josh Allen. And I, don't want to take credit away from him at all, but make him look like the best quarterback in the NFL by far.
Right. Yeah, I saw some people talking about, Joe Burrow without Jamar Chase, and I just felt like saying,
Yeah.
well, you're telling me that a guy who doesn't have his number one wide receiver, arguably top 10 wide receiver in the NFL, a guy he even played in college with,
easy.
isn't as good when he's not on the field? Like, is that surprising?
Weird.
And then the other thing is like, okay, you got Chase, Boyd, and Higgins, 1, 2, 3. So that means the other team's got to find 3 guys to try and cover them, or 3, you got to worry about 3 guys. Then if, Chase is out the picture, then it's okay, well, it's Boyd and Higgins, Then all of a sudden you can match up better. You're only worrying about 2 guys, So, yes, having a top wide receiver is going to make life easier for every quarterback. So.
Yeah, just insane to me. I'm still surprised the Packers haven't figured out that meta yet. It's just weird, right? But anyways, any other thoughts? Somebody asked in chat, what do you feel about Brady's recent divorce? Are you sad for him, or any thoughts around that? Because you're a big Brady fan.
So yeah, no, I've watched every Brady game he's ever played in the NFL.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, I guess my thing with Brady is, right, it's like his whole life it's just been like football, 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 and he's like the ultimate competitor. And we've seen, we've learned about guys in history that when they get done playing sports, it's almost like, what do I do? Like, what do I do with my life? They talked about, if you read Walter Payton's book, he said he like became depressed when he was done playing. He didn't know what to do. I saw there's a really good Twitter clip. Man, who was this? I wish I knew the name off the top of my head. There's a guy that fought on Jake Paul's undercard. He was an MMA fighter, fought in UFC. And, he said when he retired, like he didn't know what to do, and he was so lost that he was to the point where he was like suicidal. So my thing for Tom Brady is like, I guess I'm almost concerned like with him after football. What's he gonna be like? Maybe he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know, but with him retiring, coming back, and he's always talked about playing till 45, and just seeing how he goes about like his thing, and then him signing the analyst deal. I'm almost like concerned. Like I know he's got all the money in the world and everything, but I'm almost kind of concerned. Is like, how does he feel once he can't play anymore?
Yeah, somebody said Walter Payton started racing cars. Does that mean like Tom Brady's gonna start like flying airplanes and like racing in like those Red Bull series? Just something to get his adrenaline back up. Maybe he'll take up some sort of like maybe he'll build the first rocket ship to try and race around the world or some shit. I don't know, but maybe he's concerned about what he's gonna do with his time, and he's like, I can only kiss my son for so many hours a day.
Oh, here we go. that UFC fighter was his last name was Hall, first name Uriah. I'm probably saying that wrong, but yeah, I thought that was very interesting, and he was just kind of saying that a lot of athletes seem to go through that, but don't really talk about it. So yeah, that's kind of my thing. Maybe I'm just blowing it way out of proportion, but I don't know. It's something I've thought about with him.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely a motivating factor, and it is, yeah, athletes and going from the peak of the sport to being just like out of it and washed and no longer as like in demand everywhere you go is kind of like a wild downturn. But anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap the pod now. Anything else you wanna talk about before we go?
Are you gonna like try to game the YouTube system and like what's your title for this? What are you thinking? Do you have like generic titles for these, or do you like kind of?
No, like I try and give them unique titles. I actually don't have a title. I usually think the title as I'm uploading just basically go off what we've said.
So you're gonna do like TD talks, TDBarrett lost in the bound, 2 hype, and Madden 23
that's a good
pack strike.
Do you think I've done a lot on Pack Strike? I probably won't abuse that one anymore because I've got so many already under
We
that
did talk
hashtag.
MMG for a little bit too, so you could do like TD talks, 2 hype, TDBarrett lost in the bound, MMG, Throne. There you go. I just said Throne. That's probably a good one.
Can I add drama gone sexual?
Yeah, why not?
Can you?
We just
say
talked
the
about
word?
Jake Paul. There's another one.
Can you just like say the word sexual or something so it's not actually clickbait?
You just said it. You got it.
Dang it!
You might want to leave that one out of it. Actually, it might get you demonetized.
Yeah, TD drama, quick, come now. I like that. TD picking up on drama that was left 4 years ago, and he's picking a new fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like those titles. Yeah, no, I absolutely try and game the YouTube system. If you ain't trying to game the YouTube system, what are you even doing on the system?
I don't know. It's true.
I mean, the game is the game.
Exactly.
It's like Omar. Was it Omar that said that? The game is the game, man.
It is.
Yeah, it truly is.
All right. Well, I appreciate you having me on. Like I said, I've always, I don't really watch much Madden stuff either, but I do enjoy your stream, and I'm a fan of it for sure. So I appreciate you inviting me on.
It's been an absolute blast, even though I can tell by a lot of your sighs that you didn't like some of the topics of conversation and jokes that I said.
No, it's all good. I know you're not like, you don't mean any harm by like bringing it up. So like that's why I started off by saying like, yeah, I'm down to talk about whatever. So.
Hell yeah. I really appreciate that. It was a fun one. This was absolutely a freaking blast. Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, need to do some type of collab by the end of the year. Even if it's like
hit me up about those franchises. I'm willing to do a draft or something on like a non-Mutt day, like which is like Fridays. I'm down for one on what are non-content days a month now. We got a content Monday, Tuesday late, so I could probably want to do one on a Tuesday if it doesn't go to team of the week. I could do we're just coordinating DMs. We don't have to do it on the podcast.
Okay, let's do it.
187 TD. Absolutely freaking enjoyed it, and take care, my man.
All right, I appreciate you. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Also, I love the den.
Hey, they're chanting your name again. Bye.